Hey everyone, it's Dominic from the Primetime Treasure eBay store and YouTube channel. Thanks a lot for coming by to check out another video. I want to start out by thanking everybody for coming by to the first ever episode of Primetime Live. That was my first live show last night. We had the chat packed. We have 46 people during the first episode, which may not sound like a lot, but that really is a lot of people for a first time episode for a live show. So thank you so much for coming by. There will be another one. I'm going to work out some kinks this weekend with some of the technical glitches that occurred in the beginning and towards the end. Fortunately, during the main part of the live show, everything seemed to go okay. I just have to get used to it a little bit more. So look out for another one, probably sometime in the beginning of November, I'm thinking, but there'll be an announcement on that coming in the future. And thanks again to Casey, the Rockstar Flipper, for helping me out with getting some of those kinks ironed out before the show started. And huge congrats on him hitting 100,000 subscribers or members in his Facebook group. Awesome accomplishment in just 2 years to hit 100,000 members. That's incredible. So go check out Casey's Facebook group, the Thrifter and Reseller World. I'll put the link to that down below if anyone wants to go join that. Of course, come by my Facebook group as well. That is the Facebook Reselling Resource Center. We've got 3,000 people in there, not 100,000, but it's still a great group that you could come by and learn a lot about reselling and some great tips. So this video is going to be really quick because there's really not a lot to what I'm going to show you, but it could be really beneficial for your reselling business. And what I want to talk about is getting a white background for your images. Now, you don't have to have a white background for every image. There's some people that talk about that. But it really depends on the coloring of your item and what kind of contrast is going to be the most appropriate. What I would suggest is avoiding very distracting backgrounds, cluttered backgrounds. Please, by the way, make sure you get your feet out of the photographs. It's a major turnoff, especially if you are barefoot. People just don't associate that with cleanliness and good hygiene, and then they think, usually incorrectly so, that has transferred over to your item, but perception is reality, and you don't want anything like that. I just did a review yesterday of someone's listing and why it wasn't selling, and that was one potential reason for why there might have been an issue with the item. Get your feet out of the photos, but you want the background to be nice and crisp and clear, again, without a lot of distractions. Even if you're using something like a sheet to put your items on, and you think that that sheet looks nice and neat. If it's a sheet that has a lot of decorations like flowers or you know, something with, you know, different types of colors on it besides white, that could be distracting too. So you want to make sure you take that away. You really want a solid color, preferably white, or I would tell you maybe a wood background, but a non-distracting wood, one that's not mottled, that's pretty consistent in terms of its coloring. So those are the two things that I would use. For wood, it's very simple. You know, you just try to find a nice wood table that generally has a pretty solid color, or it's not too mixed up in terms of the colorings within the wood. But for the white background that you want, what a lot of people do is they go out and they buy a sheet. Now, this is a blue sheet, not a white sheet, but you get the point. I actually don't have a white sheet here. But now, the sheet setup can work, but there's some limits to it, and it really depends on how you do it. The wrong way to do it is to just take the sheet, kind of hold it up kind of lazily in the background like this, maybe kind of have it drooping like that. I see this a lot, and people think, oh wow, this is a great white background that I have. Look at this, wow. Well, problem with that is if you have your item featured with this as the backdrop and there's all sorts of wrinkles in it like that, that makes it probably even look worse than if you didn't have this sheet. Or there's lots of kind of, you see this, like lots of kind of not wrinkles, but just kind of it's not uniform the way it looks here. We've kind of got folds in it. You don't want those kind of folds on your item. It's just, you know, as the background for your item. It's not going to look good. Now, what some people do to do it the right way with a sheet is, first of all, they iron or steam the sheet so they get all those wrinkles out of there. And then what they do is they take clothespins or something to tightly kind of pin it so it's nice and taut like that. And then that could serve as a nice background, almost like a studio setup. You get some nice lighting that's shined up on that. That could work really well. Now, the limit with that, though, is that it's not really portable. I mean, you pretty much have to have that as your studio filming location. Now, if you have enough room to do that, then that's fine. That could be something that works for you. But a lot of people don't have that situation. They're limited in terms of space. Maybe you live in an apartment and you just don't have that kind of room. So what's your solution for that? I'll tell you the solution in just a moment, and I don't see a lot of people talking about it. But before I tell you the solution, I will tell you one other thing that I know people do is they'll go out. I've seen Casey the Rockstar Flipper do this, by the way, is he'll go out and he'll buy these big rolls of white paper and he'll just roll them down, and there you go. He's got a nice, quick, easy white background. Now, again, that could work very well for you. It could work for him if you have a dedicated studio room to do that. However, eventually, those paper pieces that come down, they're also going to be prone to getting some waves and wrinkles and creases in them. They just get banged into a couple times, and there you go. Now you've got creases. So, you know, that's something you have to constantly kind of go through and kind of recycle. So if you want to avoid all that type of stuff, you don't have that type of room, you don't want to have to worry about having things with lots of creases in them and stuff, let me tell you the easiest solution. This one is portable and not prone to creasing, and plus has another advantage I'm going to show you in a minute. This is what you want to go out and buy. You want to go out and you want to get one of these poster boards right here. Okay, now you could get this in Staples, you could get it in Hobby Lobby. I would suggest going to Hobby Lobby. This is 36 by 48. And a reason I would suggest getting it over at Hobby Lobby is because it costs $4.99 there, but if you use their 40% off coupon, then you get 40% off of that, so you're almost getting it for like a little bit less than $3. So highly suggest getting it there. Now the advantage of it is that you could hold it up like this, and for any kind of item that you want to just kind of lean against this, then you're all set. You just kind of put it right there, and you could just put anything standing up and have this as your background like that. So if let's say you have a toy like this that you wanted to just kind of stand up against it, well, there you go. You just kind of put that right there, and now you've got your white background just like that. The other thing you can do, if you have, let's say you have books and something like this book is not going to stand up because it would obviously fall down. You know, it's not strong enough to stand independently. You wouldn't even want to really lean this up against it. The thing that you could do with this really easily is, well, all you got to do is transition it from a standing position to a laying flat position like this. So now you could take your magazine like this, and good thing I have long arms, right? And then you could just put it right here, and now, bam, you just take your picture right there. You want to turn it to the side, take your picture, and then what you're going to just want to do in your image editing software is you're just going to want to crop it out, and you've got a nice white background. Now, some of you might be thinking, well, yeah, but you have these kind of lines here like this, because it does have, it's a trifold like that. So, you know, what if those lines are showing like this? Well, very simple. Just go into your image editing software, just kind of crop out like a little wedge of the white right here, and if this little line is showing, just paste it right over it, and it makes it go away, and you wouldn't even know that it's there. So that's my easy solution for a white background. Now, there are apps out there you could use to make backgrounds white. Macy was talking about one last night called Snapseed, but that's free. But I'm talking about if you actually want to have a real physical white background. Now, another thing you could do is you could use a white wall as a background, but a lot of people don't wind up doing that because it's just kind of an awkward setup usually to use a wall. So that, I think, is the best portable solution. You can take it anywhere. You can move it in different positions. It's cheap. It's easy. It's not really going to wrinkle. That is my second one. Eventually, you will have to replace it because eventually it could get dirty and it could get you know, banged up depending on how many times you're, you know, picking it up and moving it around. But it's going to last you a lot longer than the paper is, and it's going to be a more practical solution for you if you don't have the space than the sheet solution. So try that out. If you wind up using that, make sure you leave me a comment down below and let me know if it's been helpful. There's lots of people who've been watching these videos, like Paul Curlin, who's been following some of these tips, and I love hearing that they're helping you out, they're helping you make sales, they're helping in your business. That's why I'm doing this, to try to pass on some knowledge to you to help you out. But I also learn a lot from all of you, so thanks for all the comments and suggestions you've left down in the comment section for me. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Again, check out my Facebook group, the Facebook Reselling Resource Center. Follow me on Instagram. I just put a video up there last night about boxes. That's exclusive content that does not come to this channel. So check that out as well. They're little brief, usually 60-second or less videos. So check that out, and I'll see you all at the next video. Thanks, everyone. Take care.